We've got some solid reasons why bringing back Sylvester Stallone's Rocky in Creed 4 might not be the best move. The sequel was confirmed by series producer Irwin Winkler, who dropped a few hints about what's in store. Although there aren't many details yet, no plot or release date, Winkler emphasized that they've got a really good story lined up. He also mentioned that pre-production is set to start about a year from now. Plus, Michael B. Jordan is stepping up to direct again, showing just how committed he is to the franchise. So, let's dive into everything we know about the upcoming movie. There aren't any specific story details out yet for Creed 4, but Michael B. Jordan's talk about expanding the Creed universe might hint at the franchise shifting its focus away from Donnie. With Donnie running a boxing academy, there's a lot of potential for new stories to branch off, possibly even centering on the different fighters at the gym. The next movie could explore what it takes for Donnie to train and mentor all the young talents, rather than just focusing on his own journey. When Jordan mentions the Creedverse, it could just be him using the popular Hollywood trend of building cinematic universes. Creed 4 might still stick to Donnie's story, with more challenges and obstacles for him to face. The franchise's formula has worked well so far, so there might not be a need for any major changes. The next Rocky franchise movie could end up being another solid, well-made boxing film that stays true to its roots. That said, Creed 3 doesn't have any mid-credit scenes, but the final moments hint at what might be next for the franchise. After Donnie's victory over Dame at Dodger Stadium, he joins Bianca and their 9-year-old daughter Amara in the ring for a heartwarming family moment. The scene shows Donnie playfully boxing with Amara, which could be a subtle hint that Creed 4 and future movies might focus more on the relationship between Donnie and his daughter, especially as he balances being both a father and a trainer. With that said, we think Creed 4 should definitely take a page from Rocky 4 when it comes to creating a memorable antagonist. Ivan Drago remains one of the most iconic villains in the Rocky franchise, a terrifying force who not only threatened Rocky in the ring, but also delivered the devastating blow that killed Apollo Creed. His stoic, menacing presence was a stark contrast to the flashy, over-the-top personalities of previous villains like Apollo Creed and Clubber Lang. Creed 4 would benefit greatly from introducing a new antagonist who can leave a lasting impact just like Drago did. While Creed 2 brought Ivan Drago back into the mix, Creed 4 doesn't need to rely on old faces to create that same kind of tension. Instead, the film should aim to craft a new villain who can stand the test of time. If Creed 4 pulls this off, we could be talking about this new antagonist 40 years from now, just like we still talk about Drago today. On the flip side, Creed 4 should avoid the trope of a major character's death. The Creed series has mirrored the Rocky films in many ways, but it doesn't need to follow Rocky 4's example by killing off a significant character. Apollo Creed's death at the hands of Drago in Rocky 4 was a game-changer for the franchise, but repeating that kind of loss in Creed 4 might feel forced. Creed 3 already delivered a powerful emotional blow with the death of Adonis's mom, and adding another major death too soon could dilute the impact of that storyline. The characters in the Rocky and Creed series have a deep connection with the audience, so if Creed 4 decides to kill off a major character, it should be because it's essential to the story, not just to echo the events of Rocky 4. While Rocky 4 is often remembered for its strong characters and its Cold War narrative, what really cemented its legacy was the emotional core at the heart of the story. The death of Apollo Creed and its profound impact on Rocky gave the film an emotional depth that set it apart from the average boxing movie. Creed 4 would do well to follow in these footsteps, ensuring that alongside its thrilling boxing matches and dynamic characters, it also delivers a story that resonates emotionally with the audience. Judging by the previous Creed films, this shouldn't be a challenge. The first 3 movies have done an excellent job of focusing on Adonis Creed's backstory, motivations, and emotional journey. The Rocky franchise has always excelled at weaving emotional resonance into its narratives, and Creed 4, like Rocky 4 before it, should carry on this tradition. Furthermore, while Ivan Drago was an iconic villain in Rocky 4, there's no need for him to make a return to Creed 4, especially since both Drago and his son Victor have already had their time in the spotlight in previous Creed films. Over the course of the first 3 movies, the Creed series has built a strong legacy of its own, distinct from the Rocky franchise. Adonis Creed has firmly established himself as a compelling protagonist, and he doesn't need to keep facing off against opponents tied to Rocky Balboa's past. Creed 2 and Creed 3 have already explored Drago's legacy extensively, adding new layers to his character story. While this renewed interest in Drago is intriguing, it would be better suited for a dedicated spin-off film rather than forcing him into Creed 4. In fact, Dolph Lundgren, who plays Ivan Drago, has even discussed potential plans for a Drago spin-off in an interview with Screen Rant. This would allow the character to continue his journey without overshadowing Adonis' story in the main Creed series. Creed 4's announcement has everyone buzzing about the future of the franchise, especially after the way Creed 3 wrapped up Adonis' story. With Adonis seemingly hanging up his gloves for good after his final match, it looked like his story was coming to a natural conclusion, but with a sequel now confirmed, it's intriguing to think about where the series will go next. The next film might not focus directly on Adonis, but could see him stepping into a mentor role, either for his daughter or a new rising star in the boxing world. Since Adonis ended his career on such a high note, shifting the focus away from him in Creed 4 might be the smart move to avoid undermining that perfect ending. However, this potential shift makes it a bit harder for me to get as excited about the next installment. On the flip side, another confirmed Rocky spin-off has me seriously hyped, the Drago spin-off. Dolph Lundgren has been part of the Rocky franchise for nearly 4 decades, and while Ivan Drago started as a cold and menacing antagonist, he's evolved into a more sympathetic character over time. Even though Drago wasn't in Creed 3, his significant role in Creed 2 and his long-standing history in the franchise make a spin-off centered on him and his son Victor feel long overdue. Ivan and Victor Drago have the potential to lead a slightly darker narrative, offering a fresh take on the Rocky universe. Unlike the underdog, honorable boxers we've seen in both the Rocky and Creed movies, the Drago family's complex past adds a layer of moral ambiguity that could make their story even more compelling. Seeing them navigate their own struggles and possibly take on a more heroic role is the kind of fresh storyline that the franchise could really benefit from. Interestingly, the Drago spin-off seems to have gained even more importance in light of recent changes to the franchise's plans. While it's hard to know exactly where things were headed after Creed 3, Jonathan Majors' character Damien was clearly set up to be a big part of the future. But with Majors' recent legal issues and the likelihood that he won't be returning, the franchise may need to pivot. This opens the door for Victor Drago to step up and become a major player, especially while the main Creed series works on building a new star. The Drago family has enough history and appeal to longtime fans to carry a spin-off, and Victor could be the next big thing while Creed 4 finds its footing with a new direction. What do you think? Should Creed 4 move on from Adonis as the main character, or is there more to explore in his story? And how excited are you for the Drago spin-off? Let me know in the comments below. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.